Getting dinner on the table after you've had a hectic day can be quite the challenge. So we're going to show you the smart way to serve up fabulous meals without breaking the bank.
Good job.
Plus, we'll tell you how you can avoid getting ripped off at the till by scanning errors and instead walk away with free merchandise.
And torn between whether you should pay down your mortgage or top up your savings, we'll show you the best way to end up richer in the end. But first, it's a smart cookie challenge. We find out which type of grocery store wins for best value when it comes to feeding the entire family
For under $20.
As smart cookies, we love a challenge when it comes to saving money, so we want to do a little experiment.
So what we're gonna do is we're each going to go to a different grocery store, and it's gonna be a money challenge. So what we're gonna try and do is buy the exact same list of ingredients and see who can do it in the least amount of time for the least amount of money.
Each of us will go to a different type of grocery store with $20 and buy the same ingredients for a spaghetti dinner for a family of 4.
So you've got your lists here and your bags, calculators.
We're ready.
All right, let's go.
Angela will go to a gourmet grocer. Robin will drive to a big box store. Andrea will check out a membership warehouse. Sandra will walk the local markets. And Katie will visit a neighborhood grocery store. Which type of store do you think will come out ahead when it comes to saving time and money? Stick around. We think you'll be surprised by the results.
Gotta get going.
But first, we've all been told to save for a rainy day, but that could actually prove to be a very bad financial decision. Surprising? Take note. If you have debt, your savings may be working against you. It all depends on what kind of debt you have.
Debt is a 4-letter word that has both negative and positive connotations. Bad debt is debt that's used to buy things that lose value early on, such as using a high-interest credit card to buy clothes or electronics. Bad debt is definitely something you want to erase as fast as you can.
So if you're trying to save and you have a credit card balance, you should always pay the cards off first. That's because your savings can never earn you as much as your credit cards will keep costing you in interest.
Good debt, on the other hand, is debt that's used to buy things that have the potential to grow in value over time, such as a home mortgage or a business loan.
So if you have a mortgage, remember, you're building equity in your home, so you don't necessarily have to rush to pay it off. Instead, saving for retirement could get you further ahead, so make sure you weigh your options. We're helping John and Corrine do just that. They're a family with 3 small children and 1 big mortgage. We're going to see if it's better for them to save for retirement or accelerate their mortgage payments and pay off their home sooner.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywhere within 10, 15 years. I mean, wow, that'd be good, but got to be realistic. Sometimes it takes longer.
Longer indeed. They owe about $275,000 on their mortgage, and with their current payments, they'll need 21 years to pay it off. So one option is to look at skipping their savings and increase their mortgage payments instead.
And how much are you putting away for retirement right now every month?
$350? About
Yeah,
$350.
About $350 all up.
And then what about other savings?
We have about $250, I think.
So about $600 with your
Yeah.
retirement and your savings
Yeah.
combined.
John and Corrine could opt to pay off their home much sooner by taking that $600 a month and putting it directly to their mortgage. The downfall? They'd have no money in RRSP savings at all, but their mortgage would be paid off in only 14 years.
You'd save $66,000 over those 7.5 years in interest.
Wow.
There's no question that's a ton of money. But since they have well over 20 years until they retire, the sooner they can start putting money away for that, the longer it will have to grow. And that growth is what could make them richer in the long run. Option 2 makes RRSPs the priority. They would take their $600 a month and put it towards their retirement. At a conservative 5.25%, they'd have $260,000 in RRSPs and their mortgage paid off in 21 years. But there's one more option left to consider. What to do with the yearly tax return that comes from making their RRSP contributions.
Have you ever thought about putting the tax refund towards your mortgage?
When the money comes in, we're thinking, okay, we need to take care of this, we need to take care of that, and so that's where the tax return money often ends up.
That's true for most people, but a little discipline could pay off big. Our last option is a balance between paying off their mortgage earlier and keeping up their retirement savings. Just like with option 2, they would put their $600 a month into their RRSP. But this time, they would also put their tax returns, a total of $38,000, directly onto their mortgage. Not only would that give them $200,000 in RRSPs, but their mortgage would be paid off in 18 years.
The third option appeals the most, the more balanced approach.
Yeah, and definitely because we can still save for retirement, which is important. And we will still be able to pay down our mortgage sooner.
Everyone's mortgage and potential savings numbers are different, so use an online mortgage versus RRSP calculator to run your payment scenarios and see what will get you furthest ahead. To find a calculator, check us out online. Still to come, chances are that 2 out of every 100 times this happens, there's a mistake. If it happens to you, you could be getting something for free. And if you're too crunched for time to shop, prep, and cook, we'll show you how dinner assembly services could change your life.
That looks really good. Smell good.
Plus, we're challenging each other to find out which type of grocery store will save you the most. And do you know what the best day of the week is for deals on groceries? Get the goods when we come back. What is the best day of the week for deals on groceries? For most grocery stores, it's Tuesday. If it's the end of their weekly sales cycle, it means they'll be trying to clear their shelves. We're on a cookie challenge to see who can bring home all the ingredients for a full spaghetti dinner for the least amount of money.
All right, let's go.
We each have $20 and an identical shopping list, and each of us is heading to a different type of grocery store. Angela is hitting a gourmet grocer, which is usually expected to be the most expensive.
When comparing the price of 2 items, simply use the calculator on your cell phone to divide price by unit, such as milliliters or grams. That way you can determine what the best deal is.
Robin is off to a big box store. They're typically thought to be the cheapest, but there usually aren't many in a given area. Is a bit of a drive worth it? It might be, especially if groceries aren't the only thing you're buying. Many big box stores have their own gas bars.
If you spend $100 on groceries, you could get 10 cents off per liter. On 50 liters of gas, that's $5 extra in your pocket.
We'll tell you which type of grocery store rang up the lowest bill later in the show. You might be surprised who comes home penniless. But first, we're on a crusade to find out why zoning out at the checkout while shopping could cost you money. Most of us have probably had it happen. The scan price comes up different from what we read on the shelf. It's usually a simple computer mistake, but 40% of scanning errors favor the retailer.
It pays to keep an eye on the display screen when your items are being rung through the till. You want to make sure that that bottle of laundry soap comes up at the advertised sale price and not the regular price.
If you catch an error, the cashier will usually request a price check and then make an adjustment. But something called the Scanner Price Accuracy Voluntary Code could have those errors working much more in your favor. Katie and Sandra are meeting up with a director from the Retail Council to find out how you can cash in at the cash register.
If you go into the store and you pick something up off the shelf and it scans for more than the price on the shelf, you will get it for free, up to a value of $10. And if it's over $10, you'll get $10 off the cost of the product.
So how do I know if a store is part of this?
Well, it is voluntary, but many stores that participate either have a sticker on the entrance, and they'll probably have a sticker next to the cash as well, so you'll be able to see it right there on the cash desk.
But even if a store displays the sticker, you could still have a cashier who doesn't know about the rule. Don't let that stop you. Speak to the manager and make sure they'll honor the code. If you see the sticker, it's your right.
So if you do encounter a scanning error at a store that doesn't participate in this program, it's still worth checking to see what the store's policy is.
They don't have to give you the item for free, but they should be able to honor the posted price.
And they may even give you a discount for your time and your trouble.
Bottom line, if you're snoozing at the till, you could be losing, so wake up. Up next, our cookie challenge continues with our hunt to find you the lowest grocery prices.
How much?
But if planning and shopping for the last meal of the day is taking its toll, we also have a smart way to save precious time without blowing money on takeout.
2 tablespoons of mole.
And do you know what the 3 most marked up food items at restaurants are? We'll tell you after the break. What are the 3 most marked up food items at restaurants? Soup, pasta, then salad. Instead, get your protein. Order meat or seafood for the best value. So you're crunched for time and need to get dinner on the table. How do you do it without spending a fortune on unhealthy takeout dinners? Dinner assembly services could be the answer. Places like this offer a daily selection of different prepped meals. You just come in, choose your recipe, pack up a list of fresh ingredients, and take it all home to cook. All the portions are measured and cut for you, so no shopping, no cutting, and no waste.
There's a number of menus available, and it's easy. You just follow the recipe, and you can customize as you go.
We're making beef fajitas for 2 today, which cost about $26.
Now, what I like is you don't have to buy all these expensive ingredients, which you might never use again, because you certainly would not.
When Robin and I cook together, the deal is she cooks and I clean. So I love it here because there's no cleanup involved, but you still have to take the meal home and cook it.
Hey.
Being smart with your money can also mean factoring in your time. Dinner assembly services are for convenience, so they're more expensive than shopping and cooking yourself, but they're usually cheaper than eating out. Beef fajitas here will feed 2 people for $26, and at a restaurant, that would cost about $32 plus tip. And if you shop for all these ingredients, it would work out to about $15. So it's really about what your time is worth to you.
Delicious.
Good job.
Good job.
A simple way to save on a great dinner service is to turn it into a fun social event with a bunch of your girlfriends.
It's true, that's something I've done before, and it's a great way to share the meal and the cost, and you have a great time prepping the food together.
And at places like this, I check and see if they offer a referral program. Sometimes you can get as much as $20 off your next food bill if you're referring them customers.
So if you had a few friends who were interested, you could get up to $60 on your next meal.
So you'd literally be having your cake and eating it too, or in this case, beef fajitas.
If you're really pressed for time, you can spend a little more and call or order online and have it all packed up for you, then just swing by and pick it up. And if you really want to splurge, see if they'll deliver. These types of services are popping up everywhere, so just type dinner assembly and your city into a search engine to find one near you.
Well, I think we have more than enough food here for our next cookie meeting.
Perfect. Let's go.
Speaking of splurging, most people have a little treat they buy themselves as a distraction each day. But how many take the time to add up the cost? We're hitting the streets to find out.
Would you say you have a daily indulgence that you treat yourself to every day?
Yes, I do.
What's that?
Coffee frappuccino.
Now how much does a coffee frappuccino run you?
Oh, I think it's about $5.
Ice cream bars,
Oh,
Yes.
you have an ice cream bar every single day.
pretty much.
Wow.
There's a lot of vitamins in it.
My espresso and chocolate.
Starbucks pumpkin spice frappuccino.
And what does that cost you every day?
Probably $4, $5.
It's $3.12, but I'm worth it.
And then how much a year would you think you're spending?
It's 800.
You're close, $748, $750.
Did you know you're spending $800 a year on your ice cream indulgence?
No, I did not.
$1,300.
I don't know, at the moment I feel it's worth my treat.
Cookies and chocolate milk.
I would say chocolate. How much does that chocolate cost you every day?
Probably $2.
You're spending just over $500 on your chocolate.
Bargain.
It's a bargain? To
Yeah.
you, that's worth it.
That's a bargain.
Coffee.
Coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee as
Definitely
well?
coffee, yeah.
It's chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
How much does it cost every time you go to get your chocolate?
$6.
$6? That is some good chocolate. $6 chocolate. Do you want to know this number?
No.
$1,560.
I don't know. Like, I actually just started a budget, and
Okay.
it was very revealing. I'm realizing that I buy stuff for her all the time too, and so it's kind of shocking.
So do you work your daily chocolate indulgence into your budget then?
No.
I would say I spend about $6 a day on coffee.
Okay, and that's every workday?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
$1,440.
Yeah, wow.
Now you love coffee?
Yeah,
And you're not willing to give
no
that
way.
up? Not even
No
less
way.
than one a day?
No, I would give up, say, planning a big trip or like maybe.
You give up a trip for a coffee?
I really would. These are the small indulgences. I need something like this
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, something big like that, or maybe a new sports jacket or something like
Okay,
that.
so anytime you're looking at a sports jacket
Yeah.
for $1,440,
Yeah.
you say to yourself, you know what, I would rather spend that money daily, making myself feel good, having Americano.
Absolutely.
If I were to buy anything, it's bubble tea.
Bubble tea. And that's something you would treat yourself to almost every day?
Maybe almost every 2 days.
And how much does a bubble tea cost
Bubble
you?
tea costs about $3.50.
Okay, so that's $10.50 every week. We're gonna calculate that for the year. Do you know what that's gonna cost you a year?
I don't want to know.
Over $500.
Oh my
So that's
gosh. That's huge. It's amazing where your money goes. You think it's only $3.50, and then when you add up together, it's like quite a bit of money.
And you guys are new moms,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's lots of expenses as being a new mom.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just buying a stroller, buying clothes, it all adds up. $500 could go a long way.
Can you find people are so passionate about their indulgences? That's what I found. A lot of people didn't care. They didn't want to give it up. Well, and if it's in your spending plan, that is definitely all right with me. I agree. Should we get a coffee? Yes. Okay.
Do you go out of your way to find low prices on groceries? Or do you shop where it's convenient? The five of us wanted to know once and for all where the best value for time and money is, so we challenged each other to find out. We each set out to a different type of grocery store, with $20 and identical shopping lists for spaghetti dinner for 4. Angela hit the handy gourmet grocer. Robin drove across town to the big box store. And Andrea's checking out the membership warehouse to see if buying bulk is always best.
One of the hazards of a bulk membership store is seeing so many items so reasonably priced, and you may end up buying more items than you actually need. Unless you're going to use it before the expiry date, leave it on the shelf. Remember, it's only considered a deal if you're going to use it.
3 stores down and 2 to go. Which cookie spends the least and which type of grocery store is the surprising winner? Stay with us for more grocery shopping tips and our cookie challenge conclusion. And do you know the easiest way to get something for free at a restaurant? You will when we come back. What's the easiest way to get something for free at a restaurant? Take a minute to fill out the restaurant comment card. You usually get a free dessert or appetizer for your next visit. And if you sign up for their online newsletter, they often email coupons or freebies. Our Smart Cookie Challenge to see which kind of store has the lowest prices on groceries continues. So far, we've hit a gourmet grocer, a big box store, and a membership warehouse. Now we're catching up with Katie at the neighborhood grocery store to see if there's a price to be paid for the convenience of shopping close to home.
Many neighborhood grocery stores offer customer appreciation days. This is a great way to earn a percentage off your bill or reward points. Check to see when the next one's happening and also if there's a spending minimum. But I personally think this is a great time to stock up.
Sandra is taking to the streets, visiting local specialty markets like the deli and the vegetable market to see if a little extra travel time is worthwhile.
At your local market, certain veggies are in surplus at particular times of the year. For example, you want to look for your tomatoes in August or September, which is their peak season.
their price is at the cheapest. So if you can buy in bulk and then take them home and can them, you'll have a supply throughout the year, and it'll really save you in the long run.
Now let's see who spent the least on their spaghetti dinner ingredients.
Hey, how did everyone do?
Angela went over our $20 budget at the gourmet grocer and spent $24.93. At the membership warehouse, Andrea had to buy bulk. She got enough for 3 meals, spending just over $73, which worked out to $24.34 per meal. Still well over our limit, not to mention the membership fee it costs to join. At the local markets, Sandra squeaked in under budget at $18.58. Katie did well at the neighborhood grocery store, spending $18.31. But the least expensive was the big box store. Robin spent just $17.78, but it took her 20 minutes longer than anyone else. Our cookie conclusion? We found that for a difference of less than 50 cents, the neighborhood grocery store is the best value for your time and money.
But I've got a bigger question. Who's gonna cook dinner tonight?
Nominate Andrea.
For loser.
Let's eat. I'm hungry.
All right, all right.